Coming up on Mountain News this morning, sanctuary cities might be getting more undocumented immigrants. The White House is still considering the option. And we will tell you about a story out of California where a man was shot, another stabbed, and the details leading up to it are pretty unusual. And the Queen of Country Music turned 87 yesterday. We took a trip to where she grew up and talked with people who keep the family legacy behind.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:31 on Monday, April the 15th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Burr might be the first words you speak when you open up your eyes this morning and step outside, because it's chillier than we've seen it for the past couple of weeks thanks to the storms that rolled through last night. Bring Brandon in. And Brandon, I say storms, but that's an asterisk next to that. They should have been much worse than what we saw.
They should have been, but again, thankfully we had some moisture-starved cells. We had a lack of instability, so that helped us out quite a bit. If we had had both those things, could have been a lot worse, and we're glad that it wasn't. And our neighbors to the south really got it socked to them. Let's take a look at the last 6 hours on the satellite and radar, and we're going to continue to see a few stray showers around this morning. Now, you see a lot of moisture, looks like it's falling, but again, it's not. Any of that blue or pink you're seeing there indicating mixer snow is not hitting the ground because ground temperatures are too warm and air temperatures are too warm, not making it past that one level of the atmosphere where it's a little colder. We're in the upper 30s and low 40s across the area this morning. You factor in the wind chill. Feels a little colder than that. Feels like 29 right now in Wise and close to freezing everywhere else. Almost 30 degrees warmer, or excuse me, 30 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday morning. I'm used to saying warmer there on that graphic. 38 right now, close to it, and then we see 55 later this afternoon. The clouds will start to clear out. Sunshine comes back, and all this rain and mess will get out of here for a few days. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you. Today is tax day, the last day to file your returns with the IRS, and security experts are warning of a new scam that's fooling many Americans across the country. CBS's Tom Hansen reports.
How many threats are you facing every day?
Well, this is a constant game of cat and mouse.
Caleb Barlow and the X-Force team at IBM in Cambridge, Massachusetts are tracking scammers all over the world.
We collect about 35 million spam messages a day. We track botnets. We look for all kinds of malicious activity.
And this tax season, they've spotted a new scam called TrickBot. Consumers and businesses are getting emails like this one that appear to be sent from reputable accounting, tax, and payroll firms, or people you may trust, like an accountant. IBM's Itai Maor teaches people how to prevent and recognize hacks. He says these emails come with attachments that can infect your computer with malware.
Unfortunately, people still click on emails and links that they're not familiar with or shouldn't be doing, which is why these tricks still work and are still out there.
A simple click can give scammers access to your computer.
What they're doing is they're waiting for you to go out to your bank account, and they're going to capture your credentials as you log into your bank account.
Barlow says there are ways to spot a fake email.
What do you notice about this email that's a little bit off?
.email instead of .com.
Exactly. So look down here, you see .com, but if I zoom in here, it looks like it's coming from paychecks.email.
His advice, if you're not sure, don't click. Tom Hansen, CBS News, Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Experts say that simple mistakes can add up. These types of attacks annually cost taxpayers at least $1.5 billion. Yesterday, Brady Industries Incorporated and London Stock Exchange listed N Plus Group PLC announced a letter of intent for a potential $200 million investment for its Brady Atlas mill by United Company Rusal. Rusal is the world's largest producer of aluminum outside of China. The company will create 1,500 construction jobs, 650 new permanent advanced manufacturing jobs in Appalachia, and about 3,600 jobs in the surrounding communities. Well, going on later today, there is a groundbreaking for a new business park in one eastern Kentucky county. Officials will gather to commemorate the launch of the Harlan County Business Park this afternoon at 3. The new business park will be at Veterans Memorial Trail entrance just off of US 119 in Cumberland. Sanctuary cities might be getting more undocumented immigrants. The White House confirms it is still considering the option. Voices from both sides addressed the issue over the weekend. John Lawrence reports.
The White House is fanning more controversy, this time around threatening so-called sanctuary cities.
I am proud to be the mayor of a sanctuary city. We believe sanctuary cities are safer cities.
Mr. Trump apparently testing the limits of that belief by considering sending more migrants to cities like Oakland, California, that limit their cooperation with federal immigration authorities.
We can give them an unlimited supply. And let's see if they're so happy. They say we have open arms.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders stressing this is just an option and not President Trump's first choice. However,
if Democrats would step up and help the president fix the laws, this all could go away. We wouldn't be having this discussion, and that would be the best thing for the country.
Some Democrats say the president is abusing his power by turning migrants into pawns.
He shouldn't use them as what he imagines as retribution to political opponents.
This is, again, his manufactured chaos that he's created over the last 2 years on the border.
Others believe the immigration issue is at a breaking point and that something has to give.
We're not securing our border. We're not enforcing our laws. Sanctuary cities are illegal.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Tensions continue to increase in Venezuela. Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido attended a rally in the Venezuelan state of Zulia Sunday. This a day after Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro called on Venezuelans to enlist and train with the military. Maduro said he will have a total of 3 million or more military troops by December of 2019. Dozens of veterans from Virginia are on the trip of a lifetime to the nation's capital. Honor Flight Top of Virginia took Vietnam and Korean War veterans around the monuments and memorials Saturday. The volunteers helped them see the World War II Memorial, Arlington National Cemetery, and of course the Korean and Vietnam memorials. The veterans say many are thinking of their friends who didn't make it back home.
Shows you the sacrifices that we have to make in order for us to have the freedom.
My family's been in the military for as long as we track back. My grandpa and my uncle were both in Vietnam, so I thought it would be an awesome opportunity to give back.
Each veteran was paired with a volunteer, which included JMU students, ROTC cadets, and members of the Delta Gamma sorority. A Washington state deputy was shot and killed Saturday night in the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office says it is the first death in the line of duty in its 165-year history. Deputy Justin DeRozier was responding to a disabled vehicle when he reported he'd been shot. He was flown to a hospital where he died. A local SWAT team is on a manhunt for the suspect or suspects. Deputy DeRozier leaves behind a wife and a 6-month-old daughter. He was just 29 years young. This charged mess is what is left of a fire engine in Cobb County, Georgia, after a car rear-ended it, causing both vehicles to catch fire. The fire crew was not in the fire engine at the time, and the only person injured was the car's driver. It all started with firefighters responding to a crash on I-20 early Sunday morning. The firefighters were dealing with the wreck when a car hit the truck from behind. Firefighters managed to pull the driver from the burning car. Now out west of California, a man reportedly plowed his car into a Carl's Jr. restaurant, got out of his car and removed his clothes. Witnesses say the man then went into a nearby McDonald's and stabbed an 88-year-old grandfather eating lunch with his grandson. Deputies say he then ran out of the restaurant, and that's when a security guard shot the suspect. Deputies say the suspect died at the hospital. The grandfather is expected to be okay. Well, the queen of country music turned 87 yesterday. Loretta Lynn is known for her long list of awards, including being the first woman to ever win the CMA's Entertainer of the Year and for being a coal miner's daughter. WYMT's Lauren McCourt took a trip to where she grew up at a small home in Van Leer and talked with family who helped take care of her childhood home.
If you took a trip up Butcher Holler in the last 30 years, you probably got a tour of Loretta Lynn's home place from her brother, Herman Webb.
I have many tourists that come back every year just to see Dad.
Herman died last July, leaving the home place in the hands of his family.
That's the one thing my daddy made sure of. Well, before he passed, he told me, he said he wanted us to try to keep the store going, and he wanted us to keep giving tours here at the home place.
Most of the tours given by his youngest daughter, Connie.
This has been a part of my life ever since I was a young child.
Who says keeping her family's legacy alive is why she does this.
This is home. This is home to me.
But this isn't just home to the Webb family.
And I get so many people that when they come through that door, they just tear up because it reminds them so much of their home place.
But for others who may not be able to go back to the home they grew up in.
And I get people back every year who come because they feel like this is home to them too.
Although Herman is gone.
Well, I think that's wonderful, and I thought Connie sounded like Loretta.
The legacy of the family will not be leaving Butcher Holler anytime soon. In Johnson County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
Loretta Lynn is taking a break from touring right now due to health issues. Well, it's 6:41. Let's toss it over to Brandon this morning for a look at what we should expect as you walk out your door on a Monday. Brandon?
Well, it's going to be a little bit on the soggy side for some. We're going to continue to see those stray shower chances across the region this morning, down toward Hazard here, down toward Letcher County. So be aware of that as you head out. Not a great chance there. Some lower visibilities down to 7 miles in Harlan and Wise over toward Logan as well. So just keep that in mind. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s as you head out the door this morning. So not too cold, but when you factor in that wind chill, it makes it feel pretty chilly. Almanac today, 55 our forecast high. We average 68 for this time of the year. The record of 86 set back on this day in 2006. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. We will have stories trending on WYMT.com next. As always, thanks for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. Well, it was stormy yesterday, so it may have not been the best day to celebrate this national holiday, but you'll have plenty of chances this week. We'll tell you more. Plus, a bald eagle egg hatched Sunday morning near Big Bear Lake, California. More on that furry little guy ahead.